Books are more than just stories on pages. They are mirrors, windows, and doorways. They reflect our own experiences, allow us to step into other lives, and open doors to worlds we may never physically visit. Every book carries with it lessons that extend far beyond the narrative itself, lessons that can guide us, challenge us, and inspire us long after we close the cover. The magic of reading lies in this duality. It entertains us while simultaneously teaching, nudging us to reflect on our own lives and the choices we make. The first lesson that books often teach is empathy. Through the eyes of a character, we experience the joys, fears, struggles, and triumphs of people whose lives may be vastly different from our own. We learn to walk in their shoes, to feel their emotions, and to understand their motivations. This immersion allows us to practice compassion in ways that are difficult in our everyday lives. A well-written character can make us cry, laugh, or cheer, and in doing so, they expand our emotional intelligence. Books also teach resilience. Characters often face adversity, setbacks, and seemingly insurmountable challenges. Observing how they navigate these moments reminds us of our own capacity for perseverance. Stories of survival, determination, and courage provide subtle guidance, showing that obstacles are not the end, but a part of the journey. In reading, we learn that failure is often a stepping stone, and persistence is a skill that can be cultivated, not just a trait we are born with. Another lesson books provide is perspective. Fiction, nonfiction, history, and memoirs all offer angles on life we might not encounter in our immediate world. They show us different cultures, eras, and philosophies, encouraging us to question assumptions and broaden our understanding. Through books, we can appreciate the vast spectrum of human experience, realizing that our own viewpoint is only one among many. This expansion of perspective fosters open-mindedness and adaptability. Books also teach the importance of reflection. Good writing forces us to pause, consider, and absorb meaning. The subtleties of language, the richness of metaphor, and the depth of characterization invite thought. Reading becomes an active engagement, a dialogue between author and reader. In reflecting on what we read, we often uncover insights about our own behavior, desires, and values. Life lessons in books are rarely explicit. They are felt and understood through contemplation. Patience is another gift of reading. Unlike fleeting content or fast-paced media, books require sustained attention. They demand that we slow down, follow complex narratives, and engage with ideas at a deeper level. This patience nurtures focus and discipline, skills that extend beyond reading into everyday life. In a world of instant gratification, books remind us that some rewards require time and thoughtful engagement. Books can also teach us about love and relationships. Through stories of friendship, romance, family, and mentorship, we gain insight into human connection. Characters teach us what it means to support, forgive, or sacrifice for others. They also reveal the complexities of misunderstanding, jealousy, and reconciliation. In exploring these dynamics, we learn lessons that can guide our own relationships, making us more attentive, empathetic, and understanding. Another lesson comes in the form of courage. Many books celebrate characters who confront fear, injustice, or uncertainty. Their journeys remind us that bravery is not the absence of fear, but the choice to act despite it. Reading about courage, whether in fiction or real-life memoirs, encourages us to find our own strength and take risks that align with our values. Literature, in this sense, becomes both inspiration and a blueprint for personal growth. Books often highlight the value of curiosity. Characters who question, explore, and seek knowledge often drive the most compelling stories. They remind us that learning is a lifelong endeavor and that curiosity fuels growth. Engaging with a variety of topics, genres, and ideas broadens our understanding of the world, encouraging intellectual flexibility and creativity. Books encourage us to ask questions, to seek, and to explore the unknown. Self-awareness is another lesson embedded in literature. Characters confront their flaws, biases, and limitations, often leading to transformation. By observing their introspection, we are prompted to examine our own choices, habits, and thought patterns. Books provide a safe space to witness personal evolution, helping us recognize our potential for change and the power of self-reflection. Books also teach us to appreciate beauty in language. The rhythm of sentences, the choice of words, and the elegance of expression can inspire us to notice subtlety in communication. Literary craftsmanship demonstrates how nuance and care can transform ordinary messages into profound impact. In appreciating the artistry of language, we also learn the value of precision, clarity, and intentionality in our own speech and writing. History books, biographies, and memoirs offer lessons in context. They remind us that our lives are shaped by forces beyond ourselves: culture, society, politics, and history. By understanding the past, we gain insight into patterns, consequences, and possibilities. These lessons inform our decisions, helping us act with awareness of how individual actions intersect with larger narratives. Books also encourage creativity and imagination. Science fiction, fantasy, and magical realism transport us to worlds unconstrained by reality, sparking ideas and dreams. Even nonfiction can ignite imagination through novel perspectives or innovative problem-solving approaches. Engaging with imaginative works strengthens our ability to think divergently, approach challenges with creativity, and envision possibilities beyond the obvious. Literature can also teach humility. Characters often face forces beyond their control, reminding us of our limitations. These narratives encourage acceptance, adaptation, and the recognition that life is unpredictable. Humility gained through reading fosters patience, reduces judgment, and nurtures compassion toward both ourselves and others. Books provide lessons in critical thinking. Readers analyze motives, evaluate evidence, and question reliability. Engaging with complex narratives or arguments hones the ability to think logically, discern truth from assumption, and make informed decisions. Literature trains the mind not just to consume information, but to engage actively with it, a skill invaluable in every aspect of life. Books also teach the importance of memory and legacy. Stories passed down, either through generations or through written pages, preserve wisdom, culture, and experience. They remind us that human experience has continuity and that the lessons of the past can guide the future. Reading connects us with voices across time, encouraging respect for history and the understanding that our actions contribute to a larger narrative. Adventure and exploration in books inspire courage to step outside comfort zones. Characters who embark on journeys, whether literal or metaphorical, motivate us to explore our own limits, take risks, and seek growth. Their discoveries encourage us to embrace uncertainty and view challenges as opportunities rather than obstacles. Books also teach gratitude. Narratives that highlight scarcity, loss, or sacrifice remind us to value what we have. Characters who endure hardship often find joy in small victories, relationships, or moments of beauty, prompting us to reflect on our own lives with appreciation and awareness. Wisdom is distilled in literature. Across genres, authors embed insights about life, morality, and human nature. By engaging with these lessons, readers accumulate perspectives that shape character, decision-making, and emotional intelligence. Literature becomes a guide, offering lessons without the constraints of formal instruction. Reading allows us to explore the depths of human emotion in ways we rarely encounter in everyday life. By following a character's struggles and triumphs, we feel joy, sorrow, fear, and hope as if they were our own. This emotional immersion teaches us that feelings are universal and that understanding emotions, both our own and others, is essential for empathy and connection. The pages of a book act as both mirror and guide, showing us that our emotional experiences are shared across time, space, and culture. Books teach patience through the unfolding of narrative. Complex plots, slow character development, and subtle thematic elements require us to pay attention and engage deeply. Unlike quick media, books reward careful observation and reflection. As we track small details and connect events over hundreds of pages, we realize that patience is not a passive waiting, but an active engagement, a skill that carries into many aspects of life beyond reading. Literature often introduces us to moral complexity, showing that choices are rarely black and white. Characters grapple with ethical dilemmas, competing desires, and the consequences of their actions. Observing these struggles encourages readers to think critically about their own decisions and to understand that life often requires balance, compromise, and reflection. The lessons in nuance help us navigate ambiguity with more grace and understanding. Reading allows us to experience growth over time. We watch characters evolve, sometimes slowly, sometimes through dramatic change. This mirrors our own lives, reminding us that transformation is rarely instantaneous. By witnessing the arcs of characters' development, we learn to value progress, small victories, and the incremental steps that lead to profound personal change. Growth, both in fiction and in life, is a journey rather than a destination. Books can challenge our assumptions and biases. Exposure to different cultures, perspectives, and experiences broadens understanding and encourages openness. We learn that our initial judgments may be incomplete or flawed, and that curiosity and humility are necessary to approach life with clarity and compassion. Literature fosters self-awareness by revealing the limitations of our own experiences and the richness of others. Sometimes, books remind us of the fragility of life. Stories of loss, illness, and mortality compel us to reflect on the temporary nature of existence. In these moments, reading encourages appreciation for the present and a deeper sense of gratitude. Understanding impermanence through literature inspires us to cherish relationships, opportunities, and experiences that might otherwise be taken for granted. Books often explore resilience in the face of adversity. Whether a character overcomes personal hardship, societal obstacles, or internal conflict, these narratives demonstrate the power of persistence and determination. We internalize these examples, gaining courage to confront our own challenges and realizing that setbacks are not endpoints, but part of the larger journey. Literature teaches us the importance of reflection. The best books linger in the mind long after the final page is turned. We revisit passages, contemplate themes, and question decisions, both fictional and our own. This reflective process deepens understanding, strengthens critical thinking, and cultivates the habit of thoughtful engagement with life's questions. Reading cultivates imagination. Fiction, fantasy, and speculative works invite us to envision worlds and possibilities beyond the constraints of reality. Engaging with imagination not only entertains but strengthens creativity, problem-solving, and the ability to think divergently. The mental flexibility gained through imaginative reading enhances how we approach challenges and envision new opportunities in life. Books also teach adaptability. Characters are often forced to respond to unexpected events or shifts in circumstance. Observing their strategies, mistakes, and adjustments provides insight into the necessity of flexibility in navigating life's uncertainties. Readers learn that while plans may change, the ability to respond with resilience and creativity is what ultimately shapes outcomes. Literature frequently emphasizes the power of relationships. Friendships, mentorships, familial bonds, and romantic connections drive narrative and emotional depth. Through these relationships, we learn about communication, loyalty, compromise, and love. The lessons extend beyond fiction, reminding us to nurture connections in our own lives and to value the people who enrich our experiences. Books encourage introspection. As we engage with characters' thoughts, dilemmas, and emotions, we are prompted to examine our own motivations, desires, and fears. This self-awareness fosters personal growth, guiding us toward understanding not just who we are, but who we want to become. Reading, in this sense, becomes an intimate dialogue between author, character, and reader. Books teach us that failure is part of growth. Characters often stumble, make mistakes, or face defeat, yet these experiences contribute to their development. Observing failure in literature normalizes the experience and encourages us to view our own setbacks as learning opportunities rather than disasters. Literature reinforces the idea that resilience is cultivated through experience, reflection, and adaptation. Stories often illuminate courage in unexpected ways. Characters who act bravely, whether against societal pressure, personal fear, or overwhelming odds, inspire us to face our own challenges. Courage in books is not always loud or dramatic. Sometimes it is quiet, subtle, and persistent. These examples teach us that bravery takes many forms, and that consistent, thoughtful action often leaves the greatest impact. Books also reveal the complexity of human desire. Characters' ambitions, dreams, and needs intersect in intricate ways, revealing the tension between personal goals and moral considerations. Observing these dynamics teaches us to approach our own ambitions with self-awareness and to consider the consequences of our choices on others. Literature offers a nuanced perspective on the pursuit of fulfillment. Reading teaches the value of curiosity. Characters who question, explore, and challenge assumptions often drive the most compelling narratives. Their curiosity leads to discovery, growth, and sometimes unexpected lessons. We internalize the importance of remaining inquisitive, embracing learning as a lifelong pursuit that fuels understanding, creativity, and engagement with the world. Books often highlight perseverance. Characters face obstacles, sometimes overwhelming, yet they continue striving. Through their persistence, we learn that tenacity, patience, and dedication are essential for meaningful progress. These stories provide a framework for approaching challenges with determination and hope, reminding us that obstacles are temporary and surmountable. Literature cultivates humility. Characters' journeys often reveal limitations, errors, or ignorance, prompting readers to reflect on their own fallibility. Recognizing that growth requires learning from mistakes fosters openness, adaptability, and a willingness to embrace feedback. Books demonstrate that humility is not weakness, but an essential component of wisdom and maturity. Books also teach about the passage of time. Stories often span years or decades, showing the evolution of characters, societies, and relationships. Observing these timelines encourages reflection on our own lives, prompting awareness of how experiences accumulate, how change occurs, and how moments of significance shape identity. Reading deepens appreciation for the continuity and rhythm of life. Literature emphasizes the importance of values. Characters make choices based on principles, ethics, or personal convictions, offering models of integrity, honesty, and compassion. By engaging with these narratives, we clarify our own values, explore moral dilemmas, and cultivate a stronger sense of purpose. Books act as ethical guides, subtly teaching right action and thoughtful reflection. Books encourage us to embrace complexity. Life is rarely simple, and literature mirrors that reality. Characters are multifaceted, plotlines intertwine, and outcomes are rarely neat or predictable. Engaging with these complexities develops tolerance for ambiguity and an understanding that real-life decisions often require nuanced thought rather than rigid judgment. Exploring cultures through books deepens empathy and understanding. Travelogues, historical accounts, and fiction set in different societies expose readers to alternative norms, beliefs, and ways of life. Through literature, We gain perspective, challenge ethnocentric thinking, and cultivate a more inclusive worldview. Understanding difference through reading fosters openness, curiosity, and cultural sensitivity. Books show us the value of self-expression. Characters often navigate personal identity, articulating thoughts, emotions, and desires in ways that resonate with readers. Observing this process inspires us to reflect on how we communicate, express creativity, and assert individuality. Literature models the transformative power of voice, encouraging authenticity in both personal and social spheres. Stories teach patience with others. Characters' interactions, misunderstandings, and conflicts illustrate the challenges of relationships. By observing how they negotiate, forgive, and adapt, we learn strategies for compassion, communication, and patience in our own interactions. Literature fosters empathy and teaches that understanding others requires time, effort, and openness. Books highlight the unpredictability of life. Plot twists, unforeseen events, and character decisions remind us that control is often limited. Engaging with this unpredictability prepares us to navigate uncertainty with flexibility, creativity, and resilience. Literature mirrors the ebb and flow of real life, teaching acceptance without resignation. Reading teaches observation. Authors often embed subtle cues, symbolism, and foreshadowing within their narratives. Engaging with these elements sharpens attention to detail and encourages readers to notice patterns and nuances, skills that translate into everyday awareness and decision-making. Literature trains the mind to be alert, reflective, and attentive to the world. Books often explore themes of forgiveness. Characters grapple with betrayal, resentment, and reconciliation, providing insight into the challenges and rewards of letting go. By observing these journeys, we learn about empathy, understanding, and the transformative potential of forgiveness, both for ourselves and others. Books teach us the power of hope. Characters often face seemingly insurmountable obstacles, yet they persist with belief in a better outcome. Reading about hope in action inspires us to maintain optimism in our own lives, even when circumstances are challenging. It reminds us that hope is not passive. It is an active force that shapes decisions and fuels perseverance. Literature often highlights the importance of curiosity and lifelong learning. Characters who explore, question, and seek knowledge model a mindset that keeps life vibrant and meaningful. Their journeys demonstrate that understanding is never complete, and the pursuit of knowledge is itself a source of fulfillment. Through reading, we internalize the value of curiosity as a driving force in personal growth. Books teach us that mistakes are opportunities. Characters make errors, fail, and misjudge situations, but these moments often lead to greater insight. Observing their learning process reminds us that mistakes are not endpoints, but catalysts for growth. Literature encourages embracing failure as a necessary and enriching part of life. Reading also fosters adaptability. Characters often face sudden change, forcing them to reevaluate plans and adjust strategies. Immersing ourselves in their stories helps us internalize the importance of flexibility, showing that success often comes from the ability to pivot and respond thoughtfully to new circumstances. Books provide lessons in gratitude. Through narratives of scarcity, struggle, or loss, we are reminded to value what we have. Characters' appreciation for small joys, relationships, and personal growth encourages readers to adopt a similar perspective in daily life. Literature fosters mindfulness and appreciation through subtle, yet profound, storytelling. Through reading, we learn the value of perseverance. Characters who continue striving despite setbacks inspire us to do the same. Their persistence reminds us that growth is often incremental, and that dedication, patience, and resilience are essential ingredients for achievement. Books teach us about the complexity of identity. Characters navigate internal conflicts, societal expectations, and personal growth, illustrating the multifaceted nature of selfhood. Reading these journeys encourages reflection on our own identities, helping us embrace contradictions and evolve authentically. Literature illuminates the power of empathy. By inhabiting the perspectives of diverse characters, we develop sensitivity toward others' experiences. This deepens understanding, cultivates compassion, and reinforces the idea that empathy is a skill to be practiced, nurtured, and valued. Books teach us to confront fear. Characters often face daunting challenges, and witnessing their courage encourages readers to tackle personal anxieties. Literature provides models for bravery, showing that courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to act despite it. Reading cultivates imagination. Even nonfiction can spark creative thinking by presenting ideas in new ways. Engaging with stories, ideas, and perspectives stretches our minds, encouraging innovation, problem-solving, and the exploration of possibilities beyond immediate experience. Books teach the value of reflection. Characters' introspection, decisions, and experiences prompt readers to consider their own choices and motivations. Literature encourages mindfulness, self-assessment, and thoughtful consideration of life's complexities. Through stories, we learn about resilience. Characters who overcome adversity demonstrate that strength is often forged in hardship. Their journeys provide examples of adaptability, perseverance, and the power of maintaining hope through challenges. Books often highlight the significance of relationships. Friendships, partnerships, and family dynamics reveal the importance of connection, trust, and support. Literature teaches that nurturing relationships is central to a meaningful and fulfilling life. Reading teaches patience. Complex narratives require focus and engagement over time. This practice of sustained attention reinforces discipline, perseverance, and the ability to appreciate slow, meaningful progress. Books illuminate the consequences of choices. Characters' decisions, whether wise or flawed, have ripple effects on themselves and others. Observing these outcomes reminds readers to consider consequences thoughtfully in their own lives. Literature encourages self-awareness. By reflecting on characters' actions and motivations, we gain insight into our own values, desires, and biases. Reading becomes a tool for personal development and introspection. Books show that growth often comes from discomfort. Characters evolve through challenge, conflict, and adversity. Their experiences demonstrate that discomfort is an essential ingredient for learning, adaptation, and self-improvement. Reading inspires creativity. Exposure to new ideas, perspectives, and worlds stimulates innovative thinking. Literature encourages us to explore, imagine, and create both intellectually and practically. Books teach us to embrace change. Characters navigate transitions, loss, and uncertainty, showing that adaptation is not only necessary, but often rewarding. Literature models the fluidity of life and the potential for positive transformation. Literature reminds us of the shared human experience. Across cultures, time periods, and genres, stories reveal universal truths: love, loss, hope, fear, courage, and growth. Reading connects us to others, fostering understanding and compassion across boundaries. Books remind us of the importance of reflection. When we engage with a story, we are often prompted to pause and think, not just about the characters, but about our own lives. The moments of quiet contemplation between pages encourage us to evaluate our decisions, consider our values, and examine our priorities. Reflection through reading becomes a gentle guide, showing us that growth and understanding are cultivated not only through experience, but also through careful thought. Reading teaches us to embrace complexity. Life is rarely simple, and literature mirrors that reality by presenting multidimensional characters and intricate plots. Characters may act in ways that challenge our assumptions or face moral dilemmas that have no clear solution. By witnessing these complexities, we develop the ability to navigate ambiguity in our own lives. We learn to appreciate nuance, tolerate uncertainty, and make thoughtful choices even when outcomes are unclear. Books show us the value of resilience. Characters encounter obstacles, failures, and setbacks, yet they continue moving forward. Observing these journeys inspires us to persist despite our own difficulties, demonstrating that strength often grows in response to challenge. Literature teaches that resilience is cultivated gradually through patience, perseverance, and the willingness to learn from both successes and failures. Literature fosters empathy and connection. By inhabiting the thoughts and experiences of characters from diverse backgrounds, we begin to understand perspectives different from our own. This process broadens our emotional intelligence, teaching us to relate to others with compassion and sensitivity. Through books, we realize that the human experience is both varied and universal, and that empathy is an essential bridge between hearts and cultures. Books encourage creativity and imagination. Whether we are reading fantastical worlds, intricate mysteries, or real-life memoirs, literature invites us to see beyond the ordinary. It stimulates our minds to envision possibilities, explore new ideas, and experiment with our own creative expression. Engaging with books in this way reminds us that imagination is not just for childhood. It is a lifelong tool for understanding, problem-solving, and enriching our experiences. Ultimately, books are more than entertainment. They are teachers, companions, and guides. They offer lessons that extend far beyond their pages, illuminating the human condition and inspiring us to live more thoughtfully empathetically, and courageously. Each story we read leaves an imprint, shaping how we think, feel, and act. In immersing ourselves in books, we engage with life itself, discovering wisdom, connection, and insight that endure long after the final page is turned.